Welcome back to The Shadows. I am Benson, the voice that lingers between frequencies, the presence behind the mic. Tonight, something old stirs anew. The original crew returns. Tony Carr, the one who played with an Ouija board before he knew what doors it could open. A man who spent long nights as a security guard at Universal Studios, where the backlot wasn't the only thing haunted. Frankie Franks, who dared to explore the unsettling tale of David Huggins in Love and Saucers, and the strange sensuality of alien contact. Her curiosity dances where others fear to look. You've heard the stories. But what do they believe now? The crew is back. The veil is thin, and the darkness remembers everything. Let's speak to our former host. Though after tonight, you may wonder if they ever truly left, or if the darkness has simply been hosting them.
Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Glad to be back. Hey, good introduction. I like that.
Oh, nice.
Especially Frankie's part. That was the best part.
Yes.
I'm loving it.
And Mr. Huggins. Frankie, how's it going? How have you been? What's been going on?
Oh man. It's been one roller coaster. I definitely will say that. I'm back though. I'm loving it. I've just been, doing me, staying out of trouble, working, all that fun stuff.
Nice.
We've been talking about coming back for a while.
Yes, exactly. And again, you guys have been sorely missed for sure. People talk about you guys all the time, be it either on, just messages over Spotify, even iHeartRadio, the Gambit, and they talk about Frankie's. Oh, no. Yes, that episode. They talk about Tony's episode at Universal Studios, that whole thing with the Ouija board and everything, and just, how's he doing is, I had one guy who's actually going to come on the show. He wants to offer Tony, a free cleansing, but he has to go through a process. I was like, bro, I don't think he's going to be down for that. I don't think he's into that. And, to where he has to do mushrooms and do all kind of other stuff to get rid of whatever's, following him or, is on his back and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I sent you the video.
Sent it to me. Yeah, I didn't know that people, will watch back that far. I know when I watch, when I listen to podcasts, I do go back that far.
Yeah.
But it is a trip to hear that people are watching from the beginning, actually.
Oh yeah, they've definitely been catching up, and it's been definitely a fun ride, and but those are the two subjects that come up the most. Is like, what's up with Tony? Is he still being haunted? And what's up with Frankie in that episode? And just get you guys, make her do that episode. I'm like, no, it was just it's a real story. Like, look it up, you know?
Yeah.
And then the whole thing about, when you started doing the research and then what started coming up for you on Facebook, the
oh my God, that was funny.
Started popping up. And it was hilarious. And
I don't think I'm haunted like that anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anymore? What happened?
No, I just think that everything.
She said what happened like that's a bad thing.
Wait, what?
No, I just feel like everything has reduced, Like, I think the last big thing that's happened was probably like 2018.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, like, since I moved back to Sacramento.
That's a while. It's been a while, dude.
Yeah. When I moved back to Sacramento, it hasn't been any activities, really.
What do you think has changed?
That's a good question. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't say the last one was 2018 because that one when Paula was when I was going to the bathroom or using the going to the shower, she said, that double. What's that word for? It's not a double. It's the
a duplicate or just.
She said she saw me go into the room, but when I looked at her, I smiled, but I was really in the bathroom the whole time.
A doppelganger
on my phone, scrolling on my phone. So that was the last time. I think that was like 2021.
Yeah. So it was a doppelganger because
22.
she saw you, but you were actually someplace else.
I was in the bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for the shower for the water to get warm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I think that was the last time. But since then, nothing's crazy has happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, okay, let me ask you this. Since that time and since the last time, have you messed with any Ouija boards?
You know what? I did.
Oh, snap.
You did? Oh, I hear this.
I did. It was me and a coworker. We did it at night. It was like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
She wanted to do it at the time, and we did it. And we got a couple responses from like an old guy. But you got to imagine too, though. I feel like when we work in a blood bank, all the blood that you give away, who knows? It could be like
that it holds something. It holds a part of that.
Yeah.
Something. You just never know. So
you picked up on something from.
I mean, yeah, it could be. But other than that, after I did the Ouija board that time, I think that was really the last time, and it wasn't really that scary.
And you guys closed it out and everything, and
yeah, we did.
What response did you get?
Oh man. One of the responses we got was the spirit had referenced the person I was with in a different name. And later on, about I think like a few months later, that person really named themselves what the board had called them. But at the time, she didn't tell anybody that she was changing her name to that.
Oh.
Yeah. So when she saw the box name, call her by that name, she was shocked because no one has ever did it before.
Oh wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
So no more Ouija board for you.
Nah, not right now.
Okay, so you're
I'm open to it, but I got to be careful too though, because I do got a little one at home. So
yeah, exactly. No, for sure. And most people would tell you, Tony, stop. Like, don't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't entertain it. That's what people say. Mm-hmm. Because we had a host on the show, Carolyn, who also like to mess with the Ouija board, and we've actually done it on a live and a recording, and I think it was the Halloween episode and a couple of other episodes. But initially we got some stuff, but then after that, not really. But
so what do you mean you got some? So you got like a couple of responses and nothing too crazy, nothing too scary.
Nothing too crazy. It was just she was just asking. We were asking questions. She was moving the planchette, and again, she's there. We're here, virtually.
She's doing
and
it by
everything.
herself.
Yeah, she's doing it by herself, and it was interesting. Would I do it in my home? I'm still not down for that.
Yeah, I hear that it's pretty bad to do it, by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true or not. I mean, I've heard it, but I'm not sure if it's true.
Could be.
But also, too, I mean, maybe not enough energy that I was going through. At least two people will probably have enough energy to conjure something up.
Yeah.
A little more than by herself.
Yeah, than by herself. Mm-hmm. Got it. Frankie, have you ever messed with the Ouija board?
When I was like in third grade.
Third grade?
Yes, third grade. Yes. I had this friend named Rachel. She was into that stuff. And, I remember my mom was like, don't you do that in my house?
Yeah, my grandma said that too.
But nothing like came of it, nothing too drastic. So would I do it again?
Yeah.
Probably not, because I am afraid of opening something that, you just can't close.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is totally understandable.
Yeah.
When it comes to me and the belief of Ouija boards, I don't know. I take Tony's word for it as far as his experiences, and I totally trust, and believe what he's saying. And, the people who've had experiences, I don't know if Carolyn's technically had a real experience through using that. But I've known other people who've had, and I even though I don't know if I believe it 110%, because your mind can play tricks on you, your belief of what is already going on with you, coupled with that, you know what I'm saying? So let's say you have an entity that is attached to you, or an attachment, right? And then you're messing with the Ouija board, and that attachment starts to provoke itself onto you and have you manipulating, whether it's a planchette, whether it's things that you're not even thinking about, and it's actually theoretically possessing you at the time, but you think you're actually talking to somebody from the board, or somebody you pulled in from the board, when in actuality it could be the entity that's actually already attached to you. So I that to me can still be a possibility.
I didn't think about it that way. I always thought like, we live in a spiritual world.
For sure.
I how I kind of imagine it, like, spirits is probably, like evil spirits or whatever. Yeah. Roaming the earth. Exactly. Looking to see who they can, fool, I guess. Or so when the board's open, they're very good at manipulating. Yeah. Past people that you love, and making it seem like you're talking to them, but we could not. It just depends. The energy sometimes can be a little dark, and the darkness of that energy will hide behind somebody that you think you're talking to, or a loved one at that case. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it all. We just don't know. And, some of us out here are trying to find answers and, see what's, truly going on to have some of these questions answered. I have a question. What's up?
So like you mentioned earlier, you asked Tony, you asked him if he closed the session. Like, what does that mean? Like, how do you close a session?
Go for it, Tony.
Oh man, it's been a while. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody has their own way of closing it. You know, they say you never play it. You always have to say goodbye. If you're on if you're talking to somebody, it always has to end with a goodbye. And sometimes when you do it that way and you say goodbye or want to leave, sometimes the spirit won't let you. Yeah. So you're kind of like going back and forth trying to tug with them, like, all right, bro, come on, let me end this.
Oh wow, I've never heard of that.
I've had it before.
Crazy.
I've had it that I'm like, good night or goodbye, and it's like going to no. I'm like, all right, I'm really ready to go, so let's go, and it keeps going back to no. But you just got everyone has their own way of doing like their ritual, I would guess, because some people in the beginning you want candles, some people do candles, a prayer before they do the actual board, and when they leave and when they're about to end the session with the board, they do another ritual to end it properly, so you don't have any attachments that's with you. But I've honestly closed it before without a ritual or saying goodbye, and there was a couple times that I didn't get anything, and there was one time that I did. And that was pretty much, I don't know if it was sleep paralysis, but
which we will get into.
It could be. Who knows? But I don't know if I told the story before, but if I did before, I'm going to tell it again.
Wait, you mean for the sleep paralysis?
Huh?
For the sleep paralysis?
Yeah, I think I did, but I'm not.
Yeah, no. Definitely tell it, but hang on, because again, that is the topic of the night.
Yeah, I'm going to say that for later.
Is sleep paralysis and spiritual attachments. And with the whole Ouija board things, this is the conversation for the spiritual attachments at the end of the day, because it goes, hand in hand to where if you pull something out of the board, it possibly can attach itself to you, and you can't get rid of it. And there's no rhyme or reason on how some of this works. Like, at the end of the day, they're when you're dealing with biblical stuff or, demons and you're quoting, Bible verses and certain things, right? And even with exorcisms, there's certain procedures that have to be done and certain words that are, some are in languages that, nobody speaks and let alone know how to say, right? To really, cast things out and everything else. So who's to say that even though we're people who are messing around with the Ouija boards believe they're closing it out, and they could be, because it's all about intention. And if you're, intending to do it, because it is stated that all participants have to close it out, right?
Yeah.
And then they say this thing, we thank the spirit who have spoken, we no longer welcome this session. This session is closed. Goodbye. Right. And then that's how it ends. Let's say little Terrell over there in the corner is like, no, I want you to come. I want you to help me. Everybody's been picking on me and blah, blah, whatever. Right. And he doesn't have that same intention as everybody else. And then that spirit or that demonic entity kind of, senses that and tracks him and just snaps onto him, and everybody thinks it was closed out and it's attached to him now. So who knows? Who knows how all this works? And it's all interesting to me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like even if you do close it out right, it's a high, chance that you're going to get something attached to you either way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sometimes I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it just depends.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
I don't know. Whoever's listening that's out there that's done it, they probably have their own way of doing it and their facts and stuff towards it. But I think everybody's experience is different.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we will get into sleep paralysis.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go.
You're listening to Strange Darkness Radio with Bobby Washington and his incredible co-host. Don't go anywhere. More dark tales and spooky mysteries are coming right up. Stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at Strange Darkness Radio, TikTok at Strange Darkness Radio, X at SD Radio, Facebook Strange Darkness Radio Podcast, and YouTube Strange Darkness Radio. Share your stories. Call 916-741-3032 or email us at strangedarknessradio@gmail.com. Strange Darkness Radio. We'll be right back.
And we are back. But, Tony, you had a story about sleep paralysis, because I do too. Crazy.
Ooh, I want to hear it.
All right. Well, I don't know if it was sleep paralysis, but it was something for sure. Because before, when we talked about doing this episode, that was the first thing that came in my mind was to talk about. Because sometimes I feel like I've had sleeping while I was sleeping. I feel like I've felt somebody set on the bed, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I feel like a lot of times with my brain and how I work, I black things out and I just try to forget it.
Oh, okay.
So what this story was, I was playing a Ouija board. I was probably like, I want to say like 14 years. No. About 16, 17 years old. I was at home. I was playing a Ouija board. I had somebody on the phone. And while we was playing, we got a spirit and it felt cool, because it's really off of energy. And sometimes you can feel that energy if something's hiding behind it.
Yeah.
So after talking with it for maybe like 20 minutes, I kind of noticed that it felt like something like an energy was hiding behind that persona that it was. Okay, let me rewind. I feel like it was hiding, or it replaced that person pretending to be who we thought we was talking to at first.
Got it. Yeah, it was being deceptive.
Yeah. So I kind of clocked that, and so I asked it, who are you? And at first it didn't want to tell me who it was. After like 3 tries of me telling, asking who are you, it spelled out the devil. And that part I flipped out. Yeah. I ended up it was
like, shut it down. Shut it down.
I flipped out. And it was a paper Ouija board. Like I made it.
Okay.
And so I just took that paper. I had like a lighter for some reason. So I lit it up. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And that was it.
Yeah.
And so I got spooked for that. So I asked my brother, hey, come sleep with me. Downstairs I had a bunk bed. So the bottom, had a bunk bed.
Yeah.
And so he slept on the top. And I remember I was sleeping and I was sleeping on my back and I just happened to wake up. And when I woke up, I saw this lady like hovering over me, like in my face. And she was looking so mean, like, rough.
Yeah.
Old lady, wrinkles everywhere. Moles and stuff, and she's just mean mugging me, as in I don't know what it was, but it just felt weird. And then when she's hovering over me, it was like a blue light behind her, like an LED light. And so it spooked me because
So she was visually clear. Like
Yeah,
you
she
could
was
see
clear.
it
I
wasn't
was
like a
seeing
black
everything.
smoke or an apparition. You can
Nah,
distinctively see her features.
I was
Do
seeing.
you felt like it was somebody like you knew?
No, I didn't know this lady at all. So when she was hovering over me, I felt like it was like a spirit or something, mad either that I didn't close it right
Yeah.
or whatever it was. But I did get visit that night after playing that Ouija board.
Ooh.
And so she was hovering over me, and within a second, it all happened pretty quickly, but I do remember it vividly. About when I saw her, I screamed, put the covers over my head, and I waited for like 5 to 10 minutes before I took the covers off. And when I took the covers off, I never saw her again after that. So that's why I don't know if it is sleep paralysis, because I was sleeping and I just happened to wake up to this presence, and then she's hovering over me. So I've always thought that it could be a little bit of a sleep paralysis without, I was able to scream and I was able to move and everything, but is it kind of sleep paralysis because somebody visited me?
Well, the thing about sleep paralysis, the figure is usually dark or misty. It's indistinguishable to where it's not detailed. Let me put it that way. It's not detailed, right? It's a figure to where your mind supposedly constructs this entity that is wispy and all this stuff, right? And it's sitting on you, and your chest is heavy. Did you feel the weight of your chest being heavy?
Nah, man. It was just literally like if you wake up and you just open your eyes.
Oh, okay.
And you just see that person right there, and you lock eyes with that person. You're like, holy shit, what's happening right now? That's
so how fast did you try to move once that happened?
Oh, it was
instant,
quick. As soon as I seen it, my brain was able to see what I was seeing. I screamed, and then I just put the covers over my head. That was it.
Oh, okay. So you physically moved.
I moved.
That's not sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
only
sleep
because
paralysis is like you
cannot move.
Speak.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can't breathe, and it just feels like there's something in the room, whether you can see it or not. But like you can't. You'll fight trying to move, trying to breathe.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh my God, what is going on? Yes.
Yeah, no, I never had that type of experience. I don't believe.
It's definitely scary. I will say that. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, damn, dude, that was real. I mean, in the sense of it really happened to you. Now, could it have been a dream that was just so, realistic or,
that
one of
was,
those?
That was legit, man. Because I remember after that, I went up to the, I actually woke my brother up and told him to sleep down with me.
Yeah.
That's how scared I was.
Yeah.
And I think that's when everything kind of started really happening with like the huntings and stuff. I want to say huntings, but like things moving. Like one time I was at somebody's house and it was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I just happened to pass the, past the kitchen, going to the room. As soon as I passed, what was it? Newspapers fell off the counter and stuff.
Okay.
And it was just weird timing.
So weird things would happen to you from that moment on.
From that moment on. And I think about a few years later, or maybe 5-6 years later, I started getting scratched, and it felt like it was like 10-year span of all these weird movements or hearing things or things falling off, or sometimes even when I'm laying in bed and I'm sleeping, but I'm kind of awake in the middle of the night. Like you feel somebody like tap your ankle and stuff. I've had that happen before too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they say that's a thing too. When somebody taps your feet, then you look down and And
I was laying down, so when I felt the hand on my foot, I moved my foot. As in me, when I was sleeping, I thought that somebody was trying to get through.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I initially thought. So once I moved my foot, I opened my eyes quick, like, holy, there's nobody can get through this. I'm in my room. So
yeah,
what just happens, and that freaked me out. But
dang,
yeah,
some of those things would definitely freak me out. A lot of things that happened to me when I was younger, they were kind of like what you said, as far as walking by something falls, off of something, just weird things like that. You're sitting on your bed. I think I was playing guitar, and then somebody like walks by the door because the door is open, but then you're like, hey mom, you know,
Ain't
hey dad,
nobody
you
there.
home?
Yeah.
Nobody's
And
home.
mom's
I've
all the
had
way
that.
downstairs.
Yeah.
No,
I've had
actually
that
just
before.
wasn't even home.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
yeah. And then for me, it was we lived. I lived on Travis Air Force Base, and before we got base housing, we lived outside of the base in this 2-story home, and there was always a warm spot in the middle of my of the room, like a warm spot.
Really?
Then yeah, and I was telling my mom, I was like, "Is there something running along the in between structure because it's a 2-story?" She's like, "No, why would you say that?" I was like, "Because there's this area of my room that is just always warm." And then so she comes up, and then so she's feeling the area. She's like looking around. She's feeling the area. She's oh yeah, I didn't notice that. I've never noticed it before, right? And I'm like, well, how would you? I'm thinking to myself like it's it's a freaking floor. You're walking past it, you're not gonna really realize it. When I'm on the floor because I'm either doing something, putting something together, or playing guitar, messing with my amp, or just doing something. So I'm on the floor. And I was like, man, this is really hot, really warm. It's really weird. And then I'll have to move everything or move myself. And it was just concerning because I was like, is this supposed to be this hot in this area? It's like about, I want to say about 5 feet, 5 feet long, about 2 to 3 feet wide. And
Wow.
So that's a person.
no, but here's the thing. So my mom comes in the room. She's looking all around. She's like, where are you talking about? And I show her. She sits on the floor for a minute. And then she just gets out and she walks out of the room. She's like, okay. And then so she walks out of the room. She's like, hey, I was like, so what is it? And she's all like, oh, it's nothing. And then we're doing whatever. She's making food or doing something. And then I'm coming down the stairs and I hear her saying to my dad, yeah, there's a dog that died in his room, but I'm not going to tell him. And it still lives it still comes to the room, and she's like, it was a German Shepherd, and she's explaining to him. And I was like, Mom, I was like, what, are you? She's like, no, I knew you were there, and that's why I said that. There's nothing in your room, and whatever. I'm like, okay, but no, she was actually serious.
I mean, I've heard
but
from other podcasts that when there's a spirit, it's actually warm. I'm not sure if that's true because
See, I heard the opposite. Yeah,
I've heard both sides. I've heard that you do
I've
feel
heard
coldness,
cold
and
when
then
human.
you feel warm as well. Like, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, I've never even looked into that, and I haven't told that story in decades.
Wow.
I haven't told that story in decades, but yeah, and she did say that a dog had passed away in that room for whatever reason, and it was laying in that spot, so it goes back to that spot, and so I thought that was interesting, and that's why it's always warm. Yeah, no, definitely. But so Frankie, have you ever had an experience like that before?
With like sleep paralysis, I used to get it all the time when I was like younger.
Oh.
I want to say, don't laugh at me though, but I used to sleep in my mom's room till I was like 15, 16.
God,
Okay.
Because
dang.
listen though, because like I used to get sleep paralysis like all the time, and it was so scary. And I used to try to explain to my mom what was happening. I'm like, I can't move, I can't speak.
Mhm.
Like I would try to make a noise just to let her know something was wrong, but it was so hard. But that was when I was like about 15, 16. I do have it happen every now and again.
Still.
I want to say, like a few months ago. It's scary at first, but now I kind of walk myself through it. Like I'm like, okay, you're just waking up, But I will say with like the spirits and all that, where you can sense them in the room. My dad actually passed away back in May.
Oh,
and I want to say probably.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. And me and my dad were like really, really close. But I started sleeping on the couch, and I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I would see him standing in the doorway, like walking down the stairs.
Mhm.
And like it was comforting. Like I knew it was him. Like I felt him there, but it just like disappeared. Like he just disappeared. But there are times where, like I feel him around. But yeah, I would just say like sleep paralysis doesn't really come around much, but I definitely, that shit's scary. I will definitely say it's scary when it happens.
Yeah. And so what do you see when you have it?
So I don't see anything. Like when I'm having sleep paralysis, I don't see anything. I feel it. Like I feel someone is there.
You feel the presence.
It's just like a heaviness, and you can't move. Like you can't even open your eyes, and it's a really scary feeling. But it will only last for like 5 minutes. But the 5 minutes can last like 30 minutes.
5 minutes feels like forever. But so every time it's happened to you, your eyes have been closed?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I try like my hardest to make sounds, so people can hear me like something is wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah.
That is interesting because initially I would have, if that were to happen to me, I would think that I'm dreaming and not that I'm not, trying to wake up or woken up. I would think that I'm still asleep. Mm-hmm. It's just that I'm dreaming that I'm awake or trying to, get up. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Opposed to if my eyes are open, I see the room, but I can't move. Then, all hell's about to break loose at the end of the day, which again, I do have a story. And again, I don't really think it was sleep paralysis only because it was too many things involved for it to be sleep paralysis. But with that being said, did your mom being in the room comfort you? And also, did she see, to where you were really, because like you can't even move. So it's not like that she sees your eyes open and you're like blinking at her like in Morse code, like, hey, it's happening now. Like, did she ever find out and see that it actually was happening to you?
No. And I would like explain it to her like the next morning, like I couldn't move. I couldn't blink. I couldn't make a sound.
Yeah.
It's just, but it was comforting knowing that somebody else was there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
So that's why I like Tony was like, hey, I had my brother come downstairs with me. Like when you said that, I was like, I remember I was like 15, 16 years old, like in my mom's room, like not. Yeah.
But do your kids experience any sleep paralysis?
Or sleepwalking?
Sleepwalking as well, yeah.
My son, so he's 12 now. He used to sleepwalk probably a few years ago. But my girls, they have nightmares, but they never mentioned anything that sounded like sleep paralysis.
Okay.
Are
you letting them watch scary movies? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, maybe
watching Annabelle,
Megan 2.0 and stuff.
Oh dang!
Yeah, your brain would play tricks on you.
Yeah.
And it also makes up his own world and stuff. So, watching scary movies. I watch scary movies now, and there's times I do still get bad dreams.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but it's not like I'm in that movie. It's just a bad dream of a random bad dream that's happening.
I only watch scary movies during the day.
Dang. So does it make a difference though? As far as, in the day or?
Yep. And as you guys know about my basement, it's always scary.
That is hilarious. Are you in the basement now?
Kind of, sort of. Like I'm downstairs, but closer to the stairs. But my audio's been like cutting in and out.
Yeah.
But it's weird though. Like it will be fine, but the moment I get on with you guys, that's when it starts cutting in and out.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
We had
I sent you guys a video.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. We gotta check that out.
Yeah, I was like, look, it happens every time. Right when we get started, it starts every single time.
Yeah, when we got started in the studio, we had one of my lights blink and say hi to Tony for whatever reason. But
you used to do it a lot back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Were you just walk in a room and the lights start flickering?
No, he sat down and it just, I did take the cable out and it's battery operated and, powered. We were trying to plug his phone into it, but for whatever reason, it's just started blinking. And it doesn't do that. It doesn't normally blink. So, yeah, it was weird. Definitely. But you were going to say? Are you there, Frankie, or is the Zoom masters got you?
Probably.
Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
Wasn't gonna
There
say
you go.
anything.
Yeah, now you're back. See?
Okay.
The minute we bring this stuff up, stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But what were you saying though?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I was just talking about sleep paralysis and seeing things in the corner of my eye.
Yeah. So has your dad visited you again, or is it, it was just,
Yes.
right after?
I would say right after he visited me a couple of times, especially in my dreams.
Yeah.
But like little things, weird things would happen. Oh, I have this, it's like a music box, and it's kind of like a Jack in the Box, but it plays the song "You Are My Sunshine,"
Oh, okay.
and it's right next to my desk. So when I was working, probably about a few weeks ago, it just starts playing, and I'm like, "What is going on?"
Wow.
But yeah, it's different, when you know who's visiting, and it's kind of comforting. It is a little bit scary, I will say that, but it's definitely comforting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though, and a lot of people don't get that though. They have a loved one that passes, and they're wanting them to visit or just to say hi, and maybe they didn't get a chance to say goodbye, or they lived in another state and didn't get a chance to see them, and they want that interaction before they go on to the other place, and they hope for that to happen to them. So that's cool that it happened to you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my story is a little weird because it definitely seems like a sleep paralysis thing. If I initially hear this story from somebody else, I'd be like, oh no, that was probably sleep paralysis. But it would happen to me. And the weird thing about it is there were other markers that showed I was I was definitely not dreaming at all whatsoever. So I was laying in the bed, and I don't normally lay on a particular side of the bed. I was on the side that I don't normally lay on, and which the door is open, right? So I can see into the hallway from the door. We have a thermostat, a Nest thermostat, to where if you walk by it, it will automatically light up. And, tell you the time and, everything, you can have it display different things. Right. And, so it was probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm laying there. I'm a very light sleeper, and I don't sleep very long. 4 hours is usually my minimum, or 2.5 hours. But usually 4, and my maximum is 5. Right. So I'm laying there. The light comes on, and I'm like, what the hell? Because again, the hallway is dark, the room is dark, it's unmistakable, right? And I'm like, okay, why did that just happen? Like, okay, let me get up. Somebody's in the house is my first thought, because one, you have to be at body level. Like, you can't be like, a dog or something, small animal or whatever else, to trigger that. You actually have to walk past it to trigger it, right? And so that automatically tells me something's wrong. Somebody's in the house. So I get up, and then it went off really quick. Okay, I'm like, okay, it has its own little time setting to where it probably kicks on for about 10 seconds, then cuts off, right? Every time, automatic. That's what it does. This cut off really quick. I'm like somebody, crazy. Took it and they put their hand around it to block out the light, right?
Like when you do as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, that was weird. And so I'm getting up to go walk into the hallway. And as I do that, I look, and then I trigger the light, because right when I come out, it sees me, and then it comes on. I'm looking around. There's nobody in the house. I'm like, okay, that was weird. So I go lay back down. Now I'm just staring at the damn doorway, because I can't sleep. And so I'm just staring at the doorway. So as I'm staring at the doorway, I start to fall asleep. So as I fall asleep, as I think I'm falling asleep, right? Looking at this damn hallway, nothing is triggered, and it's already dark in the house. I see a darker figure, like look over, real quick, and then, look back. Meaning, you look into a room and then you snap back real quick, like, so the person can't see, like, playing like peekaboo, right? Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell was that? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, did this just really freaking happen? Like, what the hell? Like what the hell, right? And so I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there, and I get up. So I don't get out of the bed. I just sit up, not all the way completely, just to where I kind of, prop myself up, and I'm looking at the doorway. I'm like, did I just see that? So now I'm questioning myself. There is not a sound in the house, right? So I start questioning myself, like, did that really happen? I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, man, I am hella tired. I got to get up for work in a couple hours. This is crazy. So I lay back down. So I'm falling asleep again. Next thing I know, a dark figure enters the room. And this thing is dark as fuck, and it's like undulating. It looks like the figure of a person, but the body of this entity is swirling and moving around. As it's coming towards me, I cannot move. My eyes are open because I'm looking in the doorway. Let me think about this. Did the light come on? I don't think the light in the hallway came on. Because the room is dark. But as it's approaching me, the body of this thing starts as it's undulating, because I don't know if you've ever seen something darker than dark. When you're already looking in a dark room and then you see something darker than the dark room, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. It is crazy. It's like, it looks like black ink or chalk. It's hard to explain. It looks weird. And so as I'm looking at this, it's undulating within this being, you can see like just like wind swirling this blackness around, right? And so you see the, not so dark, and it's all moving around. Then it starts to spark, like sparking. So as it's moving towards me, it's like creating like sparks and shit in its body or whatever. And, wow. and I'm trying to move. I'm trying to scream. I'm trying to wake up my wife next to me. I'm trying every possible thing to get out of this damn bed, period, right? And the one thing I'm thinking, like, how does she not see this? How does she not, even the room still stayed dark. It's like the sparks was contained in this being to where it didn't light up the room, but it lit this thing up to where it was just, it's like looking at a solar system. I don't know, it's hard to explain, like looking at a solar system at a distance, right? To where it doesn't light the whole sky, but it lights the area that you're looking in, the darkness.
So it's like more internal.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So as it approaches me, it's now not on top of me because it's to the side of the bed, but it leans over, and I'm start to cringe. In my mind, I'm like reeling back, right? But I can't move. Yeah. Because I can only see it. So I'm trying to, in my mind, I think I'm like moving backwards because I'm like, I'm going to get burned. That's the first thing. Besides being terrified, the second thing was this thing is going to burn me because of the hot, whatever is coming, sparking this and twirling around it. It's going to hit my skin and burn the shit out of me. That was my thought. So as this thing is leaning in, I'm trying to think I'm cringing and moving back and not moving anywhere, still trying to scream, trying to hit the bed, trying to kick, trying to just do something. And it leans over and like a head is formed. It was already a head there, right? But it kind of like made it in a shape that was more humanoid than it was initially, right? So as it's doing that, it says something to me. Ooh. And I don't understand what it's saying. And I think I can hear the room as far as like what's happening, because in my mind I'm screaming like crazy. I'm moving, I'm kicking, I'm making all kind of noise, but probably not saying not a word, right? But so it says something to me, and then it says it again. And then I have this tattoo on my arm, and it has a sigil of protection. And because initially, and as it came towards me, I started praying like right off the top. That wasn't doing nothing. I started thinking of this sigil that is like, wards off evil and all kind of stuff. So I started thinking about that. And then it kind of started reeling back as I started to think about that. So as that's happening, I'm like I said, I'm just trying to scream, I'm trying to move, I'm trying to kick, and this thing says whatever it says one more time, and then it disappears. And like you pause a tape, and then the tape you press forward, and then everything just all the noise happens, and you're like, damn, I didn't think I had the TV up that loud.
Yeah.
That was me. I started screaming, hitting the bed, jumping out of the bed, like, what the hell? You didn't see this? Why? Get the hell up. I'm just saying, I'm just like, just going crazy. Like, what the hell was that?
It was almost like everything was mute, but then like the outside world of you trying to scream was muted.
Yeah.
And then once that passed, everyone was able to hear you.
Yes. I don't know if I had the heavy weight on my chest, more so because as I saw it come in, I was totally terrified. So that's what I was more focused on. And then watching this as it approached me and just trying to understand what was happening, along with screaming, along with trying to move, along with all the shit that I'm trying to do, trying to analyze this in, tenths of a second, as this thing is moving forward. It was just wild. So, a lot of people will say, well, that was sleep paralysis because, the weight, or you saw a dark figure in the room. But no, there's too many things that led up to that, as far as the light coming on, me sitting up, seeing whatever dark figure, peek out for a second, then dart back. It was just weird. And whatever it was trying to tell me, like there was crazy stuff at the time going on in my life. So maybe it was something due to that. I don't know, but it was trying to tell me something. And, I kind of think, I kind of, to me, understand what it was trying to say, like way after the fact. I think, but why it happened and what it was, I have no freaking clue. Yeah. But yeah, it was.
Did your wife experience
crazy.
like things like that too, or
Nope.
was it just you? No,
Not at all. She's never experienced nothing. You're actually probably the first person, Frankie, out of all my hosts, co-hosts, anybody's been on the show to ask a question about her, or even did she have an experience? But no, she's never had an experience like that whatsoever, or even a paranormal or ghostly experience.
right.
But yeah. It was crazy. And besides the, coming home from the movie theater, the first story I told when we first started this podcast, those are the two most craziest experiences. Yes, I had the experience in the bathtub with the girls, or whatever little girls playing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, playing jump rope in my hallway. That I heard that just sounded crazy. But as far as just seeing that and that whole visual thing and not being able to move, and I've never had sleep paralysis. Didn't know what it was before that. Once that happened, then I started doing a bunch of research. But I've never had sleep paralysis ever, or another incident like that since. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was.
Man, that's crazy. And it's hella detailed too. So
Yeah.
You could kind of imagine that, but
Yeah.
I would flip out.
That's
I would
scary.
flip out.
Yeah. No, I was terrified. I was terrified for the longest time. Like, what was that? I was ready to sell this house. I was ready to keep it moving for sure. I was like, man, what was that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it when that lady was hovering over me. If I was scared to sleep in the room.
Yeah.
After that, but I can't remember if I was or not. I probably just went back to bed the next day, just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, you know what though? In thinking that you just said that, I think I probably didn't have a problem the next night or anything.
Yeah.
Even my mind was so crazy that day. Did I even go to work? I don't even remember. I might have stayed home from work
I would.
that day. But my mind was so just crazy trying to analyze what I saw, the experience, the feeling, just trying to understand what was going on with that, to where it wasn't, and I never had the thought that it was going to come back, or wait up for let me sit here and see if something happens, or let me get the EKG. I have EKG meters in the studio.
Yeah.
And I didn't think to do that whatsoever. It was just I was so focused on what I saw and trying to wrap my head around what I saw, to where I didn't even I wasn't worried about sleeping, or you would think like like you said, Frankie, you were like, when it happened to you, sleep paralysis, you're like, I need somebody there. I need to sleep with someone. Same with Tony. But no, I was just too focused on like, what the hell was that? And again, I didn't think at all it was sleep paralysis. I thought it was something that, because you know what? In thinking about it, I was more focused on what it was trying to tell me. Because I'm never one, we have psychics on the show a lot, and I don't really try to do the readings and want to know things in advance, or put psychics at a disadvantage to, they can't read me, and just because they can't read me, just that doesn't mean they can't read the next person, or they're successful with whomever else, right? And
but looking back, what do you think it was trying to tell you? Like, if you could guess.
No. I think I know, but I'm not going to say it on the show.
Okay, you don't have to. You don't have to.
It's like one of those things that you find out later in life, like, that's what it.
Exactly. So I'm not even going to do that, because I know what it was. I know what it was.
Okay.
At least I think I do. Because it was so much going on. So I think I'm pretty sure that was that particular why it happened that way and what it was. That's what was the more scary part, right? Let's say if something comes to you and tells you you're going to die on this day, and this is what you can do to change it, or you're going to have an accident, and this is look out for this, or this is what you can do to change it. You know what I mean? Like it was something that crazy to where, I couldn't understand it, but it just seemed like it was tied into what occurred. But if that happened to you, what would you do? Would you
it's like almost a
heed
warning.
that advice? Yeah, would you heed that advice, or you'd be like, it must have been a dream. I don't know what that was. I'm still going to go to work at my normal time, and nothing's going to happen. Would you not worry about it, or would you be concerned about it?
Oh, I would definitely be concerned.
You'd be concerned for like what? 2 hours, 3 hours.
That's what
your
I'm
life
thinking.
will go on, and you kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, it's like, oh shit, that's what happened.
That's
last
what
night.
it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Because you think about your dreams like what, like 30 minutes to an hour after you wake up sometimes. And sometimes dreams will probably stay with you for a little longer. But then after that, life happens and you just kind of carry on.
Yep. But yeah, so yeah, it things come to you in certain ways, and it's funny because, like I said, something's coming to you to tell you to as a warning, but here's the caveat: you can't understand what it's telling you.
Yeah,
that is the weird part. So something really was trying to make itself aware, and it needed to tell me this, but whether it was the law of not knowing the future, the law of not communicating with entities, whatever this entity was that wouldn't let me understand what this speech was or what it was trying to tell me, to warn me, because it was trying to give me a heads up, is what I believe. I don't know, because a lot of people say they have spirit guides and all these other things, and their spirits tell them this and tell them that, right? But is that a cheat code? Is that because I know Amy did ask a question, one of the hosts of Strange Darkness Radio. She asked a question: if you're a psychic, why haven't you won the lottery? Like what, why haven't you got, why don't you go gambling all the time and win, whatever money? But people will say, well, it's because your guy won't let you because of different things. It doesn't work that way. But come on, how many nefarious people are out here doing nefarious things, cheating people for money. I mean, happens all the time.
Yeah,
but
you just never know.
But yeah. So could it be that there are entities out there that can really try to communicate to you the future, but yet there is a barrier to where you truly cannot learn what that is, you know, and or what's ahead of you or what's coming, you know, down the road. So it was crazy. I still think about that to this day, and I think about the entity itself sometimes, but more so, even though I think I know what it is, doesn't mean that's what it is, right? But I do say to myself, I would love to have understood what it was trying to tell me, you know, because it created that much energy and it was able to manifest to try to tell me something, you know, and I don't know what it was. I can only assume.
Yeah, you sound 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That's Yep, for sure. So, and again, you guys, you both have pretty much had it, you know, sleep paralysis. Frankie, do you at all think sleep paralysis is linked to demonic entities or any type of, you know, spiritual realm?
Yes and no. Like the sleep paralysis that I had with like my dad, you know, like I said, it was like comforting. But there are times where, something is going on demonic. I know a lot of people, you know, who are experiencing like bad luck and all that stuff. They have that stuff happening to them.
Yeah.
Excuse me, hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
Oh my goodness, sorry. See,
you're cut out.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
No, I'm telling you, every time I talk to you guys, like it just some weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
But do I think that it's maybe tied to like bad habits of sleep? Yes. Demonic? Not really. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've heard people have, you know, demonic-ish experiences with sleep paralysis, especially like, you know, when they wake up and you see somebody like at the corner of your bed, but you can only see like their above their nose, but you can see their eyes and like their hands and stuff. So it kind of comes out scary. But I don't really know a lot about paralysis to really say if it is demonic or not. I think the spiritual realm and the dream realm and everything that's over what we can see, I feel like it's very strange to the point that we just don't really know the full truth of the meanings behind that we experience. I feel like when we do experience it, maybe the veil thins a little bit for you to see that, because really we're not really designed to see much of this stuff we're supposed to see.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's very true. That's very true. Very true. All right. Well, let's get into the subject you want to talk about, Tony. The power grid.
The power grid.
Yes.
Well,
okay. What's the power grid?
Edit some of this out. All right, hold on. Let me.
Because at the end of the day, when all hell breaks loose, our power grid is pretty much shitty, especially in California. You know, go ahead.
Well, it's just really like, you know, a conversation topic about conspiracy theories among the power grid, the electricity power grid.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was built so long ago. I think it was kind of built, from my research, it said the 60s and 70s, but it could be a little later than that. But
it was probably, you know, retooled in those time
it's
periods.
Really designed to like last like 60, 50 to 80 years. And we're kind of coming on that 80 years because I think the 80 years from if it was built in 1960 to 70, the 80 years I think is 2040. So we're not too far from that. But, you know, just this question, not the question, but just the topic of like, you know, right now when it comes to the government, everyone has their different beliefs and stuff, but I'm talking more about like the stuff that they don't say, kind of behind the scenes and everything. Because I feel like everything that they do to distract you from this to that, it's a purpose.
Yeah, oh for sure.
You know, COVID. You know, we just don't know what's the main reason behind it. So like the power grid, you know, even if you're on TikTok sometimes and you see people advertising like a power box to have, so just in case if the power does go out, you can
whether it's a
communicate with
generator,
people.
a solar, power generator,
Yes.
all that. Yeah.
Or you say, they advertise, hey, you may need these emergency buckets, the emergency buckets that can last for X amount of years, that if you don't have food, you can still eat that way. So
yeah. I bought a lot of ammo, but I'm not buying no cans of food that last 20 years.
So some people think that the government, will trigger a nationwide blackout
Called the kill switch.
Yeah, and that's just to kind of shut down the power grid and the post-martial law, just to see how they can control people. Kind of almost like a practice. What can we do with martial law? How can we set it out for everybody? But at the end of the day, it's just a theory. We don't really know. They do talk a lot about population control, and also too, they've had said, if you look it up, ex FBI people have said that China has infiltrated our power grid, but that can always be for someone to blame. If it does happen, it's China's fault. It's never our fault type of thing.
I'm going to say, if something happens now, I'm gonna say it's AI. AI has shut this shit
AI.
down. At the end of the day, and you're like, well, why would AI shut off the power? No. They're shutting off our power, not powers to their buildings, not power to the sources that house the AI, and allowing, because at the end of the day, if that whole Arnold thing ever happens to where it's Terminator type style, everyone knows, and AI obviously knows this. It's about humans killing humans. They just got to sit back and let it happen. It's not something to where they got to, start blowing stuff up, blowing transformers and just, or whatever. They know the minute there is a blackout, and people will lose their freaking minds.
Well, I think they're going to warn us warn us about a blackout. I mean, they kind of already do it in predictive programming, like The Simpsons talk about it. Or even, you have the show on Netflix, Zero Day. Yeah. And it talks about what happens if we do go through a blackout. And it will be chaotic, because
No, I'm talking about if AI really, because they say within the next 10 years, AI will have basically taken over everything. Most jobs.
You think so?
Yes, that's what they're talking about. I believe it. Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
I believe
and so AI, because AI they tried to shut down even the old Chat GPT, the 3.0, and it actually tried to backdoor save itself and create its own little realm to save itself. And they found that, and it tried to do some other stuff. There's another AI that actually the company tried to shut the AI down. It started sending death threats via email to the owner of the software company.
Wow. What?
And yeah, so I'm saying, I'm just talking about from the AI standpoint, like AI, man, I think if we get a blackout, I don't think it'll be, at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be the secret society doing whatever, or even the government. AI? I think it'll be AI. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get y'all up out of here because, we are taking all the, whether it's,
I kind of think it's a mix of both. I feel like AI, is a big part of it too, but I also feel like the global elites is a big part of what they want to do, kind of population.
The global elites though, they want to keep shit going because they just want you to work and die. That's all. They want you to pay taxes, work and die, and buy products, and rinse and repeat. Do a little bit of test stuff on you as far as because they're trying to stay alive. They're trying not to age and not to grow old. They're doing all, they're snapping up people, doing all these experiments on them, just so they can, whether it's being implanted into other younger bodies or just that whole, they got a whole other host of things that they're worrying about. At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
But when, a governmental coup type situation, I think that can, stem from a blackout or just some craziness from that standpoint. But yeah.
And the blackout can also be, it could be somewhere that they're trying to do a great reset, because we've heard that before about great resets, and that's kind of to like make a collapse in the economy, a collapse in everything, to the point that we're gonna have to depend on the government if that was to happen. But obviously, the government's not going to be able to help all of us. But it's just a lot of different things theories that it can go along with this power grid. Being vulnerable. Also, it could be easily attacked, cyber attack, that someone can really infiltrate it. And I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I think when it comes to shutting down our power, I think either, like I said, AI, another government to have chaos, to have people wipe out each other and all that stuff, or a civil war, some type of regime trying to overthrow the government, and still be able to pick up the pieces after half of it's destroyed, because you don't want to destroy all of it. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, if you're trying to do a reset, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Well, what about them? Like if you're trying to reset society, well, what are you doing? You just took away jets, planes, every amenity that elites have. You just took it away. Even if you got an underground city and you think that thing can sustain itself for 50 years or 100 years, at the end of the day, you're going to need some manufacturing process, to get you whatever you need, to fix whatever you need, so on and so forth, right? So no, I just think, like you were saying initially, the power grid sucks. It needs to be overhauled. AI could take it down. Another foreign country can take it down. An EMP from any country can wipe out the California power grid. And an EMP, once you let off an EMP in a certain area, you can no longer have power in that area ever again. And so if that were to happen, like even in a bigger part of LA, along with the area that's housing the power grid, right? You shut down, man, I give LA, even the whole California, 3 months before all hell breaks loose.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You think so? I've been hearing a lot about California, and I'm like, what is going on over there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty wild with all the ICE situations and all the things that have been happening. But yeah, no,
it's all part of the agenda.
Oh, you think it's false flags type situations?
I mean, with the grid?
Well, even with the...
I think the grid, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the grid could go down eventually. But I feel like a lot of stuff that we're conspiracing about is a lot... sometimes not conspiracies anymore, because it just keeps happening. To the point it's like you kind of think like, okay, what's going to happen next? Before it was kind of like a far-fetched, but a lot of these things are not as far-fetched anymore.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah. And I remember, I think it was like 5 years ago, they were running some military, military drills in Las Vegas. Like they cordoned off like half of the city or something like that. And they were running like military style, war games, so they could do it in a city. And so everybody was wondering what was up with that, and nothing ever came from it. And they were just like, oh, it's just an exercise that we were doing.
Yeah, forget about it, and then like 20 years from now it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So who knows? They say there's something hurtling towards us right now that will be here in 2027.
Ooh, 2027.
Yeah, it's coming from the other side of the sun. So
the other side. I want to say this though. This is kind of totally off topic, but it just made me think of it. You hear a lot in the news about like the planes and like how a lot of planes are having like emergency landings lately. Like a lot of turbulence is spiking. I don't know. It's just something that I hear a lot in the news. So I'm like, what is going on with like this aircraft stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually started earlier this year with the whole plane crashes and stuff. Like the one in DC with that collided with the, was it Black Hawk?
Yeah.
When that happened, I was
was in New York. The Black Hawk.
Yeah, New York. The next day, I had to fly. I was flying to Mexico City. And I was scared shitless.
Oh damn, dude!
Because it was like 3 airplane crashes that happened within like a 5 day span.
Mhm.
So after I flew, did my trip, came back, I kind of said I'm not going to fly for the rest of the year.
Oh wow, that's wild. Yeah, it's there's all kind of crazy things happening with flight these days. A lot of people say that it could be UFOs, to where they're trying to tell us something. They're trying to stop certain flights for whatever the reason is, and because you are seeing a lot more
Mhm.
things happen in the sky these days.
Yeah,
They're catching a lot.
everything it's starting to get crazy, man.
Yeah.
It is.
It's crazy. We're starting to see
Kind of
stuff.
reminds me of that show Paradise. What's
Oh,
Paradise?
Paradise.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yes.
That's a good show.
Yes. I love it. It kind of reminds me of that. A lot of stuff happening.
Well, yeah. Well, I feel like I said, I feel like they kind of throw a lot of things to you watching, TV wise and stuff, and kind of
Giving you a heads up, like The Simpsons.
Give it a heads up and also let you know, like, hey, this is what's about to happen, but you don't think it's going to happen because it's on TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Got to be careful. You got to stay vigilant, pay attention, and just be ready.
Pray to whoever you pray for. That's it, really.
Exactly.
Because
No,
I feel like we have no choice but to go through these different type of things that we're going through.
Yeah. Trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We can't stop it.
Yep. But yeah, if you guys have any stories about, sleep paralysis or, demonic attachments, spiritual attachments, or, having conversations with different entities, definitely hit us up. You can call into the show at 916-741-3032, or you can send us an email at strangedarkness@gmail.com. Benson will voice your email, and that will be interesting. But yeah, tell your story. I mean, because again, there's a lot of stuff, out there, and man, you're not going crazy. It's real. The stuff that people are experiencing for whatever reason, is the veil getting thinner? Are we at some weird point in time to where, they're trying to let us know, whether it's on the spiritual side, the alien side? They say there's a lot of different alien entities or creatures or beings that live on Earth. And maybe it's time, for us to find out.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that too, which is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. All the TikTokers aren't crazy, or Instagrammers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. All right. So you guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming back on the show. Hopefully you guys won't be strangers, and be many more times to sit and just talk, like around a campfire, and catch up, and also just talk about what the hell's going on out here. Frankie, how was it tonight?
It was great. It was awesome. I'm glad I came on. We shall do it again.
Yes, and hopefully you're not sitting on your stoop halfway into your kitchen and halfway into your basement.
Yes. Next time you will see my face.
Talking about
All
Annabelle.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, did you hear about the guy that died? The what was it? Handler for the Annabelle doll.
Oh yeah.
The guy that went on tour.
What?
Yeah, he took the doll and then had a massive heart attack
During the tour.
Yeah.
What?
He's going through like a nationwide tour. Taking the doll to different cities, and people could come in and see the doll and stuff. But yeah, he died.
Yep.
What?
He's taking the doll on tour.
I know it's an old
Annabelle.
story, but
Yeah.
it is crazy because Annabelle, and she went missing for a little bit too in New Orleans.
Yeah, she did.
Wow.
Set the house on fire. That plantation house.
Damn. Wow. And Frankie, you were about to say your catchphrase about Annabelle. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, because I swear that's her. Oh, that riggedy ass bitch.
Exactly. That is too funny. I gotta find that audio and put it in there.
Oh my God, that's probably why all these bad things been happening.
Oh, because of the Annabelle doll.
Yep. Coming for you, Annabelle. Just kidding. No, I'm not.
Exactly. You don't mess with it. If you do, you better be ready for the outcome.
Death.
Damn.
Shit.
He went straight down the pike. Death. All right. Well, that is it for tonight's episode on Strange Darkness Radio, and we're out.
All right.
Peace.
Ethel? Do you know where you are?
My body.
You have passed over. You died.
No. Everything, my body, they took it. It's torn.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.